So, do you want to improve your team's performance? Well, I've created a series of 4 videos about this, and this is the second. The first was last week, so watch on for my psychology-based tips. For the best practical management leadership advice, all underpinned by psychology research, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Friday. So if you watched last week's video, you'll already be well underway to improving your team's motivation and performance. So last week we looked at you and your leadership style, and this week we're going to be looking specifically at performance management. So the 3 research-based tips that I share in this video have worked for the countless managers and leaders that I've worked with over the last 20 years, and now it's your turn. Tip 1. Set and word people's objectives really carefully. So in a review of more than 200 studies, Heidi Grant Halverson, she found that setting implementation intentions, so for example when X happens then I will do Y, makes people 3 times more likely to achieve their goals. So kind of taking this approach when you're working with your team members on setting their goals could be helpful. So for example, something along the lines of when the business case is finalised and approved, then I will develop the detailed project plan. And asking your team members to tell you why the objectives they've been set are important can also help increase their buy-in and therefore the certainty that they're going to do those objectives. As Caroline Webb says in her book, How to Have a Good Day, we're more likely to achieve a challenging goal if we've decided for ourselves why it's worth doing. So making objective setting a two-way discussion is essential. Tip 2. Reward the right behaviour and performance. In a study of 250 employees and nearly 80 team leaders across 2 companies in China, researchers found that when leaders accurately identify kind of performance cues and then provide team rewards that align with the team's needs and the goals, they're more likely to create a climate that staff perceive as fair. So bridging the gap between how you intended to reward people and what they actually experience in reality is crucial for ensuring a positive team climate and subsequently good performance. And this taps into the work of John Stacey Adams in the 60s. He developed a theory called equity theory, where people balance the amount of effort they put in with what they think they're going to get out of it. So, why not ask people how they want to be appreciated, recognised and rewarded? So before we get to the 3rd tip, comment below on an essential activity that you have found helps motivate people to perform better. Let me know in the comments box below so that others can kind of learn from your wisdom and experience as a manager. Tip number 3 is don't exaggerate your team's performance. I work with a lot of organisations and a lot of managers who have far too many objectives, 10, 15, 20 objectives, that's far too many. And so it can feel overwhelming. And in a study by Penn State University, researchers found that middle managers used a range of tactics to inflate their team's performance and ultimately deceive top management as to how well things were really going. So the study suggests that managers might have been motivated to engage in this kind of unethical behaviour because leadership set teams' performance targets that were either too unrealistic or simply too many to ever achieve. So it's better in the long run to have the difficult conversation with leadership and push back against unrealistic performance targets. So now you've had my latest 3 tips to bring out the best in your team, but what else can you do to keep things going in the meantime? Well, I've written an ebook all about how to build a high performing team. It's filled with research and really practical activities that you can just pick up and run with. So it's free as well. I know I'm really good to you. It's free and you can access it in the link in the description box below. And if you want to get regular psychology-based tools and tips, I also have a monthly newsletter where I share helpful, common sense advice, all backed up by research, to help managers and leaders like you thrive and shine. And if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, give it a big old thumbs up, and subscribe and share it with your fellow managers, and comment below if this video helps you or if you've got other tips for other people watching this. And don't forget to tune in next Friday for the 3rd video in this 4-part series. See you next week.